now. Congresswoman, good morning to you. Texas officials say they have 900 buses ready to roll to Washington, D.C. What do you make of this move?
Yeah, well, I can tell you, Carly and Todd, Iowans are common sense people. Texans are common sense people, and it's very clear. We understand you got to put America first. This administration continues to put America last. So it's unfortunate that we even have to give them this wake-up call. You'd think that more than a year of border drama would have done it for them, but our border czar hasn't been to the border yet to see this in person. So I applaud Governor Abbott for taking this action and bringing it to President Biden's doorstep, because this is a crisis that has ended up on every doorstep in every community in America.
Congresswoman, your Democratic colleagues don't seem too concerned about what's happening at the border. And quite frankly, some Democrats like Jen Psaki say it's okay to give these individuals free cell phones. Here she is justifying it to our own Peter Doocy.
Our team in Texas is saying that you guys are starting to give smartphones to border crossers, hoping that they'll use the phones to check in or to be tracked.
Well, I think you, of all people, since you've asked me a range of questions on this topic over time, would recognize that we need to take steps to ensure that we know where individuals are and we can track and we can check in with them.
Congresswoman Hinson, if you want to know where these individuals are, I have a thought. Why not enforce the border laws in the first place?
Right. We need to give CBP and ICE agents the tools necessary to do their job, not be handing out cell phones to illegal immigrants. I mean, what a slap in the face in terms of incentivizing illegal immigration. Then we're hearing reports that they are going to continue to take medical personnel from our VA system, a system designed to give health care benefits to our veterans that's already backlogged, and send them to the southern border. I mean, what world are we living in where this is reality? I have no idea. The Biden administration clearly is not listening to the American people. They're not listening to people in border communities. They're not listening to Iowans who are saying, hey, we've had enough with these dangerous drugs coming into our community, these dangerous people coming into our community. We want people to come to this country the right way, and we need to be incentivizing legal immigration. But let's enforce policies that are actually working at the border as a solution. Let's keep Title 42. Let's build the wall. Let's enforce Remain in Mexico policy. But again, these are all things the Biden administration continues to turn a blind eye to as real solutions at the southern border.
Yeah, Congresswoman, what is the conversation like on Capitol Hill right now? Do you think that Title 42 will actually be repealed? I mean, I know that Republicans are trying to attach it to this $10 billion COVID relief. And if so, are you hearing anything substantive on how the Biden administration is going to handle this issue? Texas Congressman McCall was on air yesterday saying that border agents are thinking that there's going to be 500,000 illegal immigrants coming into the U.S. over a 5-week period.
Right. So we know what's going to happen as soon as Title 42 is repealed. That's exactly why we have been putting pressure on the Democrats in Congress to actually pass legislation that would enforce Title 42 and make it permanent. I was at the border a year ago, and CBP agents were saying this is a policy we need to be permanent. So we've actually brought that to the floor several times. The Democrats continue to vote it down. So we will continue that pressure campaign over the next several weeks. But I can tell you, Iowans have had enough. Americans have had enough. We're ready to actually see action at the southern border, and we're going to keep holding them accountable for these bad policies, giving cell phones to illegal immigrants, again, diverting medical personnel away from our veterans, and continuing to ignore the real solutions at the southern border. This is a crisis that's completely by this Biden administration's doing.
Yeah, as for moving the VA personnel, how much of a slap in the face is that to those who volunteered literally to die for our country?
Absolutely. And you think about the backlog that already exists. We've got veterans calling into our office saying, we need help with our benefits. We need access to that care. So they have gone and fought and served for our country. They fought for freedom. And yet you have this reward going to people who are coming here illegally. It is a true slap in the face.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we're going to have to wait and see if that policy comes to fruition. There will be a lot of backlash if that is the case. Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.